So right, this is the floor of conference basically, and as you can see, it's bustling. There's quite a bit of an atmosphere here actually. What's really interesting is, it's a lot younger and more diverse than any Labour conference I've been to. And a big chunk of people, I've heard the figure about a third of the delegates have actually joined since May, which is phenomenal. And I suppose what's incredible about the party and what's happened to it is the vast majority now of members and supporters weren't members of the Labour Party in 2010. So this has basically become a different sort of party. How long have you been a member of Labour for?
Since May.
Since May. So you're one of, I mean, there's lots of people who joined in May who've just come here for the first time. What made you join Labour?
Jeremy Corbyn.
So for you, it's the first time at a conference.
Yeah.
How do you feel? What's the mood like for you? How do you feel like?
I really like it. I feel part of something. I've been told it's different to other conferences or previous ones because of it seems a lot different, but I feel like it's a part of something.
What do you think about what's happened with Labour leadership?
About Jeremy Corbyn,
Yeah.
I really love him, and I think he's got people really excited about politics.
More than just the beard. What else other than the beard?
I mean, so I just speaking personally, like so many of my friends and family, like he just maybe they were kind of like left wing or like vaguely like liberal, but they were never really political before. But loads of them are like really excited now. And for me personally, it's just great to hear someone actually speaking sense and not kind of spouting the same kind of Tory line, I guess.
When you come and look at these stalls, they're quite eclectic. You know, we've gone from Unite, a big trade union, to Bombardier Transportation. Hello. The Associated British Bookmakers. The EU thing. Hiya. We're keeping on walking. We keep walking. So you get these charities, British Heart Foundation, and then you get, politics.co.uk. So it's just a total random mix. I don't know what they seem to have done. They seem to just have no order whatsoever. But it's companies, NGOs, people trying to, obviously network, like pharmacy companies, trying to network, trade unions. And so you just get a mix of people coming in and seeing what's going on. A lot of the time people go to the fringes, though, that's the key thing, and they all basically go there and then get drunk. Right, so this is exciting. We've got, you're a newly elected MP. You used to work with Jeremy and you're a big supporter of Jeremy. He's now a leader and now we're at the first conference.
To be honest, the conference in many ways feels very much the same as conferences of the past. The sky has not fallen in because Jeremy Corbyn has been leader of the Labour Party.
Conference, there are a number of rule changes that have been proposed.
This is where they're all
by
sitting,
CLP,
watching these speeches. If I
CLP,
speak too loud, I'll
and
probably get
the-
thrown out, which by security, which would be really degrading. No, it's not true. Security are very friendly.
All of the proposed
So what
amendments
they
are
do is you
detailed
have
in
these
CAC
speeches,
report 2
set piece speeches.
and are ordered according to their position in the card votes.
Some of it's kind of like resolution stuff like
I'm hoping
So,
now,
you know, it's quite motions,
there's this
resolutions,
slate
debating
and a
issues,
slide behind me,
priorities, all
but
the rest of it.
doesn't seem to be there
So
yet.
you've got these delegates here. And
Still doesn't seem
it's
to
not
be
really
there.
kicking
Just
off.
carry on.
You don't get kind of argy-bargy stuff. When
Say
people say, oh, it's all back to the
the
80s,
Labour Party
actually it's
are
quite
included in the nomination process.
calm, isn't it? Oh, here's one. Hey, how you doing? You alright? C&D, Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament, founded in the 50s, wasn't it, originally?
Yes.
The big ban the bomb, all the rest of that sort of thing. There's not going to be a debate about it at Labour conference. You're a bit disappointed.
Yeah, really disappointed. I think Jeremy's elected with 60% of the vote in the Labour leadership election. His position on Trident is clear and has been for as long as anyone has known Jeremy. The Labour Party is going to have to deal with this issue at some point. It would have been better, we think, to have the open and frank debate now. This is just going to rumble on, and actually the Labour Party have given the Tories a blank cheque to replace Trident in Parliament next year.
Was it a stitch-up behind the scenes? Is that how you see it?
Well, we don't know is the honest answer. I think a lot of CLP delegates were selected before Jeremy became leader. Jeremy's obviously said he wanted this debate, and the debate will now have to happen in the country at CLP meetings.
So the new politics, you think, what's been promised and what we have at the moment, there's a bit of catch-up there.
I think the kaleidoscope is still in flux and the pieces are still falling into place.
I mean, this is the thing. I think a lot of people might have thought, hang on a minute, the left of the party for the first time ever is now the leadership of the party. Surely there's going to be blood on the carpets, people punching each other, headbutting each other. I mean, don't get me wrong, later at karaoke things could get a bit raucous, but I don't see that. It just doesn't seem that way. There's no animosity. Some people are disappointed the candidate lost, but even Ken DeLeasters are kind of, just getting on with confidence. As an outsider looking in, does it feel different to you? Does it feel the mood is different?
Well, I think it isn't quite because, of course, his win came so close onto the conference. I don't think next year's conference will be the same as this one. There is a possibility for Jeremy Corbyn to point himself as the outsider. The one thing that he mustn't do is, and I think there is a little danger that he will do this, is disillusion his base to keep the parliamentary party on side.
Triangulating.
And the problem, one of the dangers I do foresee with the strategy that he has pursued is that by saying, look, I'm not going to tell you what to think, it'll all be a process of democracy, he could end up in a position whereby he doesn't get support from the parliamentary party, and his base begins to get disaffected with him for making so many concessions to them. The parliamentary party will never love him, and his base is what sustains him. So I think if I were him, I'd be a bit more robust than he's being, and I would use the leadership a little bit more.
I think the problem is some people might just vote for Jeremy Corbyn, went to a couple of rallies, think, oh, job done. But it will not work if that's the case. And these hundreds of thousands of people, some of them have turned up to this conference, most haven't, and now they have to go into their community and get involved, and they need some leadership on that, because I think my impression is a lot of people have joined and they see that the leadership is under a lot of attack, both within the party, more importantly outside the party as well, but they're not sure what to do about it. They're like, well, what do I go and do now then? What they do with this big, huge movement that plucked somebody from obscurity on what seemed like impossible odds and made them the leader of the party with the biggest democratic mandate of any political party in British political history. It's quite an extraordinary moment when you think about it, but yeah, that's the test.